You're listening to the Outer Banks This Week podcast, a place for people to hear what's going on up and down the beach and to get the truth about what really goes on around the Outer Banks. So, are you ready? Here we go.
All right, thank you so much, Wes. Outer Banks This Week podcast, episode 106. And as always, it's all brought to you by Outer Banks Pest Control for those nasty varmints in your life. And I'm not talking about the kids or the in-laws or anything like that. I'm talking about those four-legged rodents, the six-legged creepy crawlies, or the 100-legged whatever. You get what I'm saying? Call Outer Banks Pest Control. Check them out online at outerbanks-pestcontrol.com right here in Manio. They are your Outer Banks pest control experts when it comes to those sorts of things. They are the #1 team out there at Outer Banks Pest Control. Again, online, outerbanks-pestcontrol.com. And of course, this thing's all powered by the man with the power, all the horsepower. I'm talking about Kelly Midget at Kelly's Automotive in Manio. If it has doors, it can be yours. Kelly would love to wrap a vehicle around you. He would love to get you a vehicle. He would love to help you find your dream vehicle. And if you're looking for somewhere to store said vehicle or store other things, he has sheds there on the lot as well. You can check him out online at kellysobxauto.com. All right, we're at episode 106. I'm not going to ramble on too much here in the beginning because we do have a special guest. He's been on with me before. I'm talking about Mr. Chris McGrath from McGrath's Burger Shack. He's going to be talking about Shamrocks and Shenanigans that's coming up this weekend, but he's also going to talk a little bit about the locations that he has in the Norfolk, Chesapeake area up in Virginia. So I'm going to bring him in here in just a few moments. Not too much by way of exciting things going on around the Outer Banks right now. We're in that transition. Again, it is March, and March can yield some interesting things weather-wise. It's been a little bit windy. We've had some low pressures. We've had some different things like that rolling around here. But at the end of it all, I mean, again, it's just kind of like that switcheroo. We haven't seen the worst of March weather just yet, in my opinion. So, but again, that's just the nature of the beast. You know, we got March. It's that transition time for the weather for Mother Nature to get herself all figured out. So let's hope that she gets herself figured out sooner rather than later. That way, April and May and into the summertime is going to be absolutely beautiful. So, let's see. Thinking about anything newsworthy. Not really thinking about anything, but Sam Walker, OBXnews.com is where you're going to want to go for all of your local news source. He's the Grand Slam, Sam Walker, to channel my inner Ric Flair. So again, Sam Walker, OBXnews.com. He's also got this little, it's like a 3 or 4 minute news bit that he does every morning for local news and weather that you can also, if you're a subscriber, you can hear that. And I mean, it's Sam Walker. That's all I should have to say. And you should be all over it. Sam Walker, OBXnews.com. Hey, it's Captain Marty season for us here at Outer Banks this week, and I've been out on the streets, helping promote the captain and trying to get you in front of get the captain in front of you, I guess I should say. So if you want to be a part of the captain, you want to be a sponsor of Captain Marty, being his fishing guide, you want to be on his programming, let me know. Justin at OuterBanksThisWeek.com. It's Justin at OuterBanksThisWeek.com. All right, before we jump into our interview with Mr. Chris from McGrath's Burger Shack, I do have a couple of shout-outs that I need to give. And the first couple I want to give a shout-out to, they actually did trivia with me at McGrath's Burger Shack last Wednesday night, and they listened to the podcast when they sat down. I said, y'all here to play trivia? And the nice young lady sitting there, she said, your voice sounds familiar. Are you the podcast guy? And she listened to the podcast. Her name is Miss Janice, and she was there with Mr. Pat, and they played trivia with us the other night. They had a great time, and what was the name of their team? New York something. I can't remember right now, but they were from up that way, and they listened to the podcast, thought that was super cool. And I told them, I said, now you're on my shout-out list. And right then and there, I pulled out my template, and I put them on it. So Mr. Pat, Miss Janice, thank you for being listeners of the podcast. And I hope you'll come back in and play trivia again. That would be awesome. But I do also need to shout out to a couple of repeat trivia players that listen to the podcast every week. Mr. Bill and Miss Cindy. They're from also up that direction, but they own a house here in Nags Head, and they come in, the Bubblers, and they play trivia with me just about every Wednesday. Just about every Wednesday they're there. And I enjoy their company. Super sweet folks, and I appreciate their love and support for the podcast. So I wanted to give them a quick shout out as well and thank them for just being some super awesome folks, because they'll come hang out with me on Wednesday nights, and then Friday nights they go hang out with my brother Dirt at the Lost Colony Waterfront Beer Garden right there on the Manio Nags Head Causeway. Oh, that Dirt, I don't know. You can't do much with him, but nah. Mr. Bill, Miss Cindy, love you guys. Thank you for all your love and support for the podcast and for coming in and hanging out with me at McGrath's Burger Shack. And you can come hang out with me at McGrath's Burger Shack in Nags Head right there in the Outer Banks Mall for trivia nights on Wednesday night starting at 6 o'clock. I'd love to see you. And you know we're going to have a good time because, I mean, I like to party. I party everywhere I go. That's just who I am. It's what I do. So hopefully I'll see you soon. All right. If you want to shout out, you listen to the podcast, you want me to give you a shout out, you want me to give somebody else a shout out, let me know. Email me, justin@outerbanksthisweek.com, and I would love to do that for you. All right, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to talk to Mr. Chris from McGrath's Burger Shack. And I'll tell you, this dude's a freaking riot. I love hanging out, him and his wife, wonderful folks, Miss Ashley, love them so much. They're great assets to the community. They're always giving back to the community, and we're happy to have them here on the Outer Banks. So we're going to talk to Mr. Chris here in just a few minutes.
Coast Realty in Nags Head is your full-service vacation rental management company where guests become family. Born and raised in the Outer Banks, Brooke Sparks and Heather Cater bring over 40 years of combined property management experience to the table and are known to go above and beyond to ensure that your beach vacation will never be forgotten. When you choose to book your vacation with Coast Realty, you are choosing to work with the best local experts. Whether it's a simple getaway for just the two of you or the whole family, Coast Realty can easily accommodate. To see their properties and to book your piece of paradise, go online to coastrealtync.com. Coast Realty, we do the hard work so you can coast.
All right, sitting here with me, as I had said a few moments ago, I've got Mr. Chris McGrath from McGrath's Burger Shack over in Nags Head. Mr. Chris, woo!
How you doing?
Oh, man, I'll tell you what. If I was any better, I'd be sitting at McGrath's right now having me one of them Irish whiskey burgers.
Well, the day is young.
The day is young. The day is young.
I'll get
my opportunity on Wednesdays to go in there and hang out and eat as much as I want. So
there you go.
It's a good time. But look, got Mr. Chris here, and I'm going to kind of real quick in just a second let him kind of, give you a refresher of who he is, talk a little bit about McGrath's, but he's also, being in the month of March, we have St. Patrick's Day on the horizon. And he's got Shamrock shoes on. Sham shoes. I don't know what to call them exactly.
I am a little bit Irish, so you gotta have the St. Patty's Day shoes.
Yes, and he's got some. It's like a full weekend of events going on.
It is. St. Patty's Day on a Monday is perfect because now it's a 4-day party.
Yes,
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and you may as well take off Tuesday because if you're partying for 4 days. I'm a professional, so I'll be fine. But I know there's a lot of people that they just might not make it on Tuesday.
Well, you guys, what's it called? Shamrocks and Shenanigans.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, let's start with, Mr. Chris, give us a quick little reminder, a little quick bio of you and who you are. And of course, you got to give a nod to your lovely wife.
Oh, absolutely. My wife, she wasn't able to make it today, but she's got some other stuff going on for the restaurant. But we've been together almost 30 years.
Wow.
2 kids. We lived up in Hampton Roads in Chesapeake. My wife's from Norfolk. I was from Virginia Beach, and then we ended up living in Chesapeake most of our lives. And we always said we were gonna retire in the Outer Banks.
Okay.
Well, then we realized that we really like it down here, and we didn't want to wait until we retired. And so right about the time COVID hit, we realized we were down here for about a month, and we said, I think we could make it work now. Screw wait until we retire.
There you go.
Now. So we did. We moved down to then. And then we said, we're going to keep it no stress, and we're not going to open a restaurant down here. So then about 4 months later, we opened a restaurant. What else would you do?
We're not going to open a restaurant down here. Then what do we do?
Oops. So McGrath's Burger Shack, which we have one McGrath's Burger Shack in Chesapeake. So this was our second McGrath's location. So it's kind of a Irish American fusion burger bar, if there is such a thing. I don't think there used to be, but I made it up, and now there is.
Now there is. You're the first of the kind.
So and it's funny because if you go to Ireland, hamburgers are big in Ireland. I mean, hamburgers are big everywhere. I mean, if you don't like a hamburger,
I don't know if we could be friends.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing more un-American than that is not liking bacon.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So what I did was I took the American version of a hamburger and the Irish version of a hamburger, and then I squished them together and came up with a whole menu of different burgers that anybody from Ireland or from America would just like. And so far, it's been great. We've been open, I guess 6 years in Chesapeake, and this will be our 4th season we're going into down here in the Outer Banks. And it's doing fantastic. Of course, COVID was what it was, but now we're back. Everything's good. No more COVID woes, but we're doing fantastic. Everybody loves our product for the most part. I mean, we all have our hiccups.
Right, of
Don't
course.
get me wrong.
And
if something's wrong, let me tell you what, I don't care what restaurant you're at. Don't leave them a bad review. Get a manager. Tell them and let them fix it. Don't go be a freaking keyboard hero and bash the place on social media and everything else. And especially when you didn't even say anything. When the person walked by, how is everything? Oh, it's great. And you're 12 seconds out the front door. This is the worst experience. Come on, man.
Yeah, dude.
Give us a chance to fix it.
Yeah,
and that's for every restaurant you ever go to, not just us.
I was going to say, I feel like you're blanketing like every restaurant in the world right now because
everywhere.
It's unfortunate that people do that, but it's life, and I mean, we just pray that they will. If they have a problem, they will get with the manager, be like, look, this weren't exactly what it was supposed to be or something.
I wish they all would, but they don't. And,
no.
It is what it is. But also, I think we're probably the only Irish bar on the beach, 100% Irish bar.
Okay. Okay.
Because my wife and I are both Irish.
Right. Okay.
So we've got Jameson. We've got all kinds of different Irish whiskeys. We've got a full bar. Just launched some boozy milkshakes this week for St. Patty's Day, and we'll have them all summer too. So yeah, you can do a Jameson milk chocolate chip milkshake, which I had for breakfast the other day, and it was fantastic. I mean,
breakfast of champions.
It was breakfast. It was Sunday though. I didn't have a Bloody Mary. I had a Jameson chocolate milkshake, and it was fantastic.
Hey, look, you know what? You was just taking communion. That's all you was doing.
I'm Irish.
Hey,
I mean, it's what I'm supposed to do.
There you go. Well, speaking of Irish, so we, got a little up to speed with Mr. Chris here. We know about McGrath's over in Nags Head. Fantastic place. Food's amazing. See, I'm not much of a drinker, but I'll eat. And it ain't much of, I mean, oh gosh. Let me just, before we jump into Shamrocks and Shenanigans, you have a beer cheese there that is out of this world. I had just what I'm doing trivia because, of course, I do trivia there on Wednesday nights, starting at 6:00 for anybody who wants to come. And the other night, I got the pretzel bites and the beer cheese. And I mean, the mustard's good. I like the Dijon mustard that comes with it. But dude, the beer cheese was gone in maybe 3 bites. And that stuff's amazing. Tell me about, can you reveal the maybe some of the ingredients for the beer cheese, or maybe just talk about it?
I can tell you. It's a very secret recipe.
Very secret.
There's 3 ingredients. It's Shamrocks beer, our house seasoning, which I guess it's really more than 3 because our house seasoning, we use sea salt, garlic, and black pepper.
Okay.
That's our house seasoning. Goes on our French fries.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it's really good. You got to use sea salt, though, because the iodized crap.
No,
Got
yes.
to have sea salt. And then the other ingredient is cheese.
Oh.
So that's it. Shamrocks. A little bit of spices and cheese.
Oh.
And then you put it in a pot and double boil it and
no hydrogenized
mix it
milk.
And none of that.
None of that fancy. None of that.
Nope.
Chemicalized crap.
Sometimes easy is just the way to go, and it's funny. Beer, cheese. What's in that? Well, it's beer and cheese.
And cheese.
Straight to dip your French fries in.
Dude, I'll tell you, regardless, it's the best beer cheese I've ever had.
It's good on a hamburger.
It's got that special McGrath's touch to it. And that's that little extra.
I'll tell you the big secret though is you got to use Shamrocks. Shamrocks is a Irish red ale. It's been around forever. if I'm not mistaken, it might be the oldest. Might be the oldest brewery in Ireland. I could be wrong.
I don't know.
Think it is. I don't know.
Paul
It's a
Sharon
little
might
early,
know.
but it's Irish beer and it's a great beer. It's been around for hundreds of years and it's fantastic. So that's the secret ingredient. You've got
Okay.
cosmetics.
All right, let's talk about Shamrocks and Shenanigans. All right, so we got a 4-day party going on basically at McGrath's Burger Shack. Okay, and just real quick, if you're not 100% familiar with where McGrath's is in Nags Head, it's in the Outer Banks Mall. It's right beside Outer Banks Dance Academy. You got the Dance Academy on one side, and you've got Island Snowball on the other side, and GNC down there. It's kind of in that corner,
Yeah, right by the hospital.
right by the hospital. So part of the northern part of the Outer Banks Mall. Just to give you an idea of where you need to be looking because you're off the road a little bit.
A little bit. We're kind of tucked back in the corner, but that's a good thing. So that way, you got a little more parking back there, a little more access back there. You're not right on the main road.
No,
So.
but I mean, it's like Nags Head is weird about their signage. So it's like if you got to kind of you got to know what you're looking for. You got to have a good geographical location, pinned down.
Right.
Because there's no sign out by the road. And like I said, Nags Head's weird about that. I'm not talking ugly about Nags Head, but they are weird about that. But anyway, all right, what's this party? How are we starting our party on Friday? I show up Friday and I'm like, Chris, I'm ready to party. What are we doing?
Well, we're going to drink a little bit.
Okay.
We're gonna eat a little bit.
Okay.
We're going to have some music starting on Friday evening. So Friday night, I think around 5 o'clock.
Okay.
It's either 5 or 6 o'clock. Somewhere in there.
Somewhere in there. Just show up at 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. Be there by 5.
Be there by 5.
We'll have music starting around 5 o'clock. That'll go till we close. And actually, we're going to have music all weekend. Saturday and Sunday, we're going to have, I believe, 3 different bands every day. So we'll have somebody in the daytime around noon. Then we'll have somebody for happy hour. And then we'll have somebody for dinner. So the party's going to be going on all weekend, all throughout the day. We've got all kinds of different drinks. We've got, like I said, the boozy milkshakes. Don't suggest drinking too many of those because it's a lot of milk and a lot of ice cream.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but you might get heavy quick.
Like one and done on those, and then switch to something else.
Gotcha.
But we've got plenty of beer. We've got plenty of other options. We've got plenty of and this is year round on our menu. We have Guinness stew. We have bangers and mash. We have all the traditional Irish. You want a Reuben? We've got a really good Reuben sandwich. All the traditional Irish fare, and then we've got our fish and chips. We use a grouper.
Okay.
For our fish and chips, and I'll tell you, it's huge. I mean, it's like this piece of grouper when you get the fish and chips. It's almost a pound of grouper.
Oh wow!
I mean, it's massive. So it's no joke. Hand cut fries. We cut all our own fries.
Man, your fries, dude.
People
fries
like
are amazing.
People like them.
Dude.
So, and then our fry sauce.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Yes, the fry. I could drink that stuff. Now, that's one of those things where it's like, I kind of want to ask you how to make it, but at the same time, like, I like the fact that, like, it's not like anything I've tasted before. And, like, you just assume keep it a secret sort of thing and not share it with.
Tell you what, come in, taste it. And if you can guess what's in it, I'll tell you you're right.
Okay. That's a fair enough challenge to people. But I mean, the fry sauce, like I said, they brought me out, what was it? I think a little souffle cup one time. And Jason that works there now, which I love that guy. He was like, nah, let me get you a bigger. He put it in a little bit of a bigger cup because I like seriously sopped up that fry sauce with like 3 fries.
Oh, yeah. You want to pour it on everything too. Your
so
fries,
good.
the hamburger, everything. I'm dipping my burger in it. Chicken tenders. I even dip shrimp in it.
Oh, gosh.
Steamed shrimp.
I would put it on,
sauce.
dude. I would probably put it on my ice cream.
Yeah, it's better. It's better than butter on shrimp. It's crazy, craziest thing ever. But
So
it is.
the fry sauce. Y'all need to make sure you note that. So we got a full weekend. Looks like of nothing but entertainment and partying. So what are your hours going to be like this weekend?
We're open every day, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. 9 p.m.'s last call. So I mean, if there's still people there, we're not going to kick everybody out at 9. I mean, we'll probably be there till about 10 to let everybody wind down and finish what they're doing and get their Uber home.
Yes.
It's
Very
St. Patty's
important
Day
piece.
weekend. Don't be a hero. Don't think that you're invincible.
No.
I mean, and the sad thing is, like, I call St. Patty's Day one of the biggest amateur nights of the year. And when I say amateur nights of the year, it's people that think they can drink and then they get behind the wheel and they drive home. And that's the last thing I want. Nobody needs to do that. Get an Uber. There are tons of them, or get a cab. Either way, but don't drive if you've been drinking, especially this holiday weekend. It's just not worth it.
Look, duty calls. That's the mark of a businessman right there. The phone ringing. But okay, yeah, and I mean, one thing that you've got some great staff there. You got some great individuals that are going to be working, and I mean, I think they're wonderful folks, and they're going to be watching to make sure that as far as like over service and stuff like that. Like just know, I mean, they're going to let you have a good time, but like if you're to the point where you can't hardly stand up or you're slurring. They're not going to and they're going to put you in an Uber and send you out of there.
Yeah,
so.
Have that good time at home where you've just got to stumble into your bedroom and fall in a bed or on the floor or whatever. As long as you're at home, that's fine. But maintain
absolutely.
When you're out in public. Let's have good fun that we all remember.
Yes, absolutely. Anyway, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we're going to be rolling
all
hard.
Day. Monday night, we're doing open mic on actual St. Patty's Day.
Okay.
Because we do open mic every Monday throughout the rest of the year, and we get so many people there for that. We thought, let's just keep it rolling, and everybody that comes for open mic agreed. They were like, "Yeah, we know this is what we want to do on St. Patty's Day." So you can actually come out, and there's going to be all kinds of different local talent on actual St. Patty's Day night because that's every Monday. Well, that's just what we do. Can
you give me an idea of maybe a few of the bands that you've got coming this weekend?
So I've got Doc Perkins coming.
Okay. Yep.
We were actually the first gig that he ever played was at our Norfolk location at Tappet Local.
No
on
kidding.
Granby Street in downtown Norfolk. Yeah. It was a great story, but yeah, he'll tell you, but he was walking up and down the street trying to get booked everywhere, and everybody's shooting him down. You're to this, you're to that. And he came in and talked to my wife, and she goes, "Hold on." She came back. She goes, what are you doing tomorrow night? And it was a Tuesday. "What are you doing tomorrow night, Wednesday?" He goes, "I don't have any plans." She goes, "You want to play tomorrow night?" He goes, "Yes, I do." And he's played for us every single Wednesday night in downtown Norfolk since 2015, and he still plays every single Wednesday night for us. He's never kicked that night, and then he does every Thursday for us at our Tappet Local in Grassfield, and he's never ditched us on that. The guy's great. He's very loyal, and he's an amazing musician. So he'll be there. You can find him on Spotify. You can find him on Apple Music. You can find him on everything. He's got an album out. Doc Perkins, great musician. So download his music, listen to it, come see him. We also, I believe we have Phil Watson this weekend, I think.
Yeah, Sunday from 5 to 8, you got Phil Watson.
Yep.
You got Steve Hauser, 6 to 9 on Friday. You got the Westcott Butlers.
The Westcott Butlers.
Westcott Butlers.
Yes.
I know I was going to. There's a bunch of Westcotts around here, so that's why I said Westcott.
Yeah, so these are two guys that Tom moved down here, and we give him shit for this all the time, but he moved down here from Massachusetts. We try not to hold it against him. We try not to hold it against him, but he's a hell of a musician.
Right.
And then Todd, he's been here forever. He's a local carpenter on the Outer Banks. He's actually at my house right now, and he's working on some projects at my house.
Okay.
Some stuff. Great guy. But the two of them, they got together a little over a year ago, and formed this little duo, and they started practicing together. And I'll tell you what, they're fantastic, man. They're a ton of fun. You can't help but have a blast when they're playing.
Well, it looks like you got some great entertainment lined up, and wrapping it all up with open mic night 6 to 9 on Monday evening. And I'm going to do my best to. I know that Friday, I'm looking at your calendar. Sunday's likely going to be my day to turn out. If I had to pick a day, it's probably going to be that day. And I'm going to talk to the missus and, make sure that all's lined up the right way for it, because it looks like it's going to be a great time, and I don't want to miss out on any of it if I can help it. So
yeah, Sundays will be a blast. That's also parade day.
Yes,
so
it is.
Can make us your stop after the parade if you're going to the parade. If you're not going to the parade, make us your stop instead of the parade.
There you go.
I watched the weather, and I think there's a chance of rain. There's always a chance of rain on parade day.
Yes.
So if you do want to stay dry, I'm not saying don't go to the parade, but if you do want to stay dry and that's not your thing, then come see us.
And then
we're open at 11.
We'll do a beer parade, a drink parade.
We will. We will.
Well, Mr. Chris, hey, thanks for coming in again today and talking to us about Shamrocks and Shenanigans. But that's not all I wanted to talk about. So you got these activities going on this weekend, but you also have what is it? 3 locations in Virginia?
Yes, 3.
Right around in the Hampton Roads, Norfolk, Chesapeake.
Yeah, Norfolk, Chesapeake.
Okay. I want people to know that, like, so just because, let's say you've got to go, and this was my thinking, okay? You need to run to Virginia for something. You got to go to the doctor. I mean, a lot of times people are going to the doctors in Virginia, Norfolk General, whatever, Chesapeake General, or just going up there to go shopping at Lynn Haven or whatever. You have locations up there for people if they want to stop and get something to eat that they can go
Absolutely.
to. Tell me about those locations.
So as you're crossing the line and you go through that toll booth and on 168, the next exit is what is that? That's
Battlefield, isn't it?
Nah, it's before Battlefield. The next exit is it's where the Harris Teeter is.
Yes.
It dumps you out on Battlefield, though. It's Hanbury.
Okay, Hanbury,
it's the road that Great Bridge High School's on.
Yes.
So you get off on Hanbury and head north, and we're about a half mile north on Battlefield on the left-hand side, and that is the first McGrath's Burger Shack that we opened.
Okay.
And it's a cool little spot. It's small. We only have, I think, 6 tables inside, but then we've got a big deck on the side of the restaurant. So we have an outdoor bar. Then we've got another 6 or 7 tables out there. So if it's a nice day, it's a great spot to go sit outside, have a burger, drink a beer.
Okay.
Great restaurant. It stays pretty busy. And then on the other side of Great Bridge, if you're on 17 coming up from Elizabeth City, there's a Walmart shopping center on your right-hand side right after you hit Virginia. And we have that was actually Tap It Local. That was our second restaurant that we opened, was right there next to Walmart.
Okay.
We seat about 250 people there. Big giant bar in there, a couple pool tables, very Southern inspired menu. Both Tap It Local, we have 2 Tap It Locals. Both of them, we have 20 beer taps, and they're rotating taps. And we started that when we opened in 2015. And every time a beer kicks, we tap something different. But we try and keep it true to style. So you can tour the whole state of Virginia beer-wise and stay right in Chesapeake or Norfolk.
Oh, so that's pretty rad.
So every time an IPA kicks, we tap another IPA from another brewery in the area. And what we call the area is generally, if I can get there in about 3 to 4 hours, it's local.
Got it.
Because if I did just like hyper local, there's not enough beer to choose
from.
No,
not enough.
But there's some great beers all over the state, and that also includes North Carolina, some great breweries in Asheville. I mean, there are some great breweries everywhere.
Right.
But Virginia and North Carolina have a lot of really, really good beer. So constant rotation, that's something that my wife initially set up, was she knows her beer better than I do. and no, she definitely does. But she keeps that rotation going and makes sure that we're using only the best beers from each brewery. But it's cool because you can try something from the mountains, and then your next beer is something from the coast. And it's just kind of a neat concept. A lot of food to go with it. When we opened Tap It Local, we did a lot of beer and food pairings where we would cook with the beer and incorporate the beer into a bunch of our different recipes. And we still do it with like beer cheese.
Yes, like the beer cheese.
That's one of them. And then we have another Tap It Local in downtown Norfolk on Granby Street, right next door to the Federal Building, corner of Granby and Tazewell. We back up to the Virginia Stage Company. So if you want to have just a getaway from the beach, and I will tell you that I've taken so many people up there over the last 5 years since we moved down here and spent a weekend in Norfolk. And at first, everybody that are local down here that have been here their whole lives are like, I don't want to go to Norfolk for the week and spend the night. They're like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on, man, try it. You're going to have a good time. So you get a hotel room. I suggest the Glass Light. It's right on Granby, right in the middle of everything. The Hilton is also very nice. But you can walk everywhere. You park your car. You get there. They'll valet it in the garage for you. You don't have to deal with any of that. The police chief's station is right there on Granby Street, a block down from the Glass Light. It's one of the safest places in Hampton Roads.
Right.
There are police everywhere. And the cool thing about the police there is, I don't care how drunk you are. As long as you're not driving, they don't care. As long as you're not causing a problem, you're walking down the street trying to get to your hotel room, they're not going to mess with you. They'll help you.
No,
they're great. Unless you're doing something trying to hurt somebody or hurt yourself, they're fine, man. They're
they ain't gonna mess with you.
Not at all. And it's just the safest place. And it's funny. I had somebody tell me up there that I said, when you're out in the country or other places and it's super quiet, like that's where crime happens because nobody's there to see it. And nothing happens here because there's people freaking everywhere all times of day and night. There's always a witness.
Yes, there's always a witness.
So you're much safer. Man, I never really thought about it like that, but it's true.
Yeah,
it's true, and it's a great little getaway. Get a hotel room. Come check us out at Tapit Local. Go to the Norva, see a concert. Go watch a hockey game. Go see the Admirals. Go see the Tides play a baseball game.
That's the best.
There's a ton to do there in downtown. So, and it's a whole different vibe than the beach. I don't want to live there. I love living here instead. There's a reason I'm down here. But it's cool to go up for a night or two and then come back.
Well, see, I want to challenge. I got a gentleman who listens to the podcast every week. His name's Mr. Adam. He lives up that direction. And he will text me his breakdown of what he liked about the podcast, what he didn't like, or questions that he may have. So I'm going to challenge Mr. Adam to hit up one of your locations in the Norfolk Chesapeake area and give us a review. I want Mr. Adam, I want you to give me a review of the Tapit Locals up there in Norfolk. You go to the downtown location, the Grassfield location, or the Battlefield. Find which one. I don't care which one you go to, but I want you to go to one. I want you to give me a review. I'm going to let Mr. Chris know about your review once I get it. So I'm challenging you to do this. Take the family. You got kids. You got a wife. Go do this for me, okay?
Bring them all. Have a good time.
Well, Mr. Chris, hey, man, thank you for coming in. Shamrocks and Shenanigans happening this weekend. Got a lot of great entertainment lined up. And, of course, the food there is amazing. The atmosphere is off. I almost said awful. Awesome. Not awful. It's awesome. And, of course, the different events and things he's got going on throughout the week, like the open mic night. And, of course, I'm kind of partial to the trivia night. So if you get to go to that, that's fun.
Every Wednesday, all year long.
Yes.
So even if you miss it this week, we got it all year. Come back. Come check it out. And once you come and play once or twice, you're going to get hooked.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I can guarantee that. Mr. Craig, thanks a lot. And again, anytime you need anything from me, man, you know where to holler.
Absolutely.
Master Heating and Cooling, your Lennox dealer of the Outer Banks, is now hiring. Qualified service technicians and experienced installers are needed. We are an OBX family-owned and operated full-service HVAC company with 35 years experience supporting our community with their heating and cooling needs. Join our team of professionals and earn competitive pay, benefits package, and performance-based bonuses. Call today, 252-255-0095, or please visit us online at masterhvac.net/contact us.
Yes, if you're looking for a job on the Outer Banks in the HVAC community, get up with my brother-in-law, Mike at Master Heating and Cooling, online at masterhvac.net. All right, not going to jump too much. So let me just be completely 100% transparent. The flu has hit my house. Now, I don't feel bad, but my voice sounds super, super scratchy right now. And I'm having to pause the recording of this podcast every 15 seconds to stop and clear my throat. So I'm going to kind of save my voice real quick and just tell everybody, hey, look, go online to OuterBanksThisWeek.com, click on the events tab, and look at all the events that are coming up in the near future. There's trivia nights, live music, open mic nights. There's so many different things that are going on. We got St. Patrick's Day coming up. Lots of activities surrounding St. Patrick's Day. And as the days get warmer, the days get longer. We just had daylight saving time kick in. That's kind of got everybody messed up, in my opinion. All of that adding up to what's going to be a wonderful summer here on the Outer Banks. And I mean, again, as the days go by, we start getting closer to April. You're going to see more and more events pop up and different activities. We've got races. We've got, oh gosh, I mean, just the sky's the limits. But you can find it all online at OuterBanksThisWeek.com. Again, just click on the events tab and go from there. And if you aren't a subscriber to our e-blast at Outer Banks this week, join the e-blast, okay? That's another way to get a lot of information. We send out a bi-weekly e-blast. Is that how you say it? Twice a week? Mondays and Thursdays, we have an e-blast that goes out, okay? So I suggest subscribing to our e-blast, and you can get a list of information of things going on and events and stuff like that. So keep that in mind as well. Oh, gosh. We're going to wrap this thing up. I really appreciate Mr. Chris coming in. Dude, what a fun guy. I'm telling you, if you get a chance to go by McGrath's, whether it be in Nags Head or one of his Virginia locations right there in Norfolk or Chesapeake, and you get to meet Chris and Ashley, I guarantee you're going to fall in love with them. They're wonderful people, great folks, great community-oriented individuals, and I appreciate the heck out of them for what they do and just for being just the wonderful people that they are. They're super friendly, super nice, and I guarantee you'll enjoy hanging out with them and spending time with them. For real. I say that wholeheartedly 100%. I enjoy any opportunity I get to spend with them. It's always a lot of fun. So I appreciate them coming in. Next week, I don't know exactly what. I have an idea of what I want to happen on next week's podcast, but I don't want to say it and then it not happen. I've done that a couple of times. So I'm going to make some phone calls and see if I can make this happen. But you just know that whatever it is that I got coming up next week, it's going to be awesome. So we're going to close this thing out right now. Outer Banks This Week podcast, episode 106. Again, all brought to you by Outer Banks Pest Control online at outerbanks-pestcontrol.com and all powered by Kelly's Automotive in Manio and online at kellysobxauto.com. So I'm out of here. Try to save my voice. I pray I'm not getting sick. Say a little prayer for me that I'm not getting sick, because that would not be fun. We don't none want that stuff. So I'm going to head out, though. I'll see y'all again next week. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. Y'all take care now. Bye-bye.
This has been another radical edition of the Outer Banks This Week podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe, follow us on social media, and listen every Thursday for a new episode.